Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff with a check on your final installment of the three-part series that's been going for 4 days now. We do have to get through one final push of the rain that's falling now, winds tonight, before we can catch a break and get our snow back for the mountains as well. Taking you towards the radar just before the 1 p.m. hour, you can see heavier bands falling this morning as that system slid up from the south. Things starting to taper off now, but we'll continue to watch the heavy rainfall for the Howe Sound area. So that's where the rainfall warning's in place, up towards Squamish, an additional 20 to 30 millimeters on top of the amounts we've already seen. So localized flooding certainly a concern, and if we get those heavier bands across the south coast through this evening, we won't really see this taper off until after midnight. Again, flooding concerns widespread for another 24 hours. Now I want to show you what this storm system looks like. This is the third center of low pressure system to slide up the south coast. Now for the past couple of days they've been coming in from the southwest, riding that atmospheric river or conveyor belt in the upper atmosphere. But today the jet stream has slid eastward a little, so our storm is actually sliding up straight from the south, which is why winds were a big concern as that low pressure system moved inland. And it does look like we'll get a shot of strong winds after 9 p.m. tonight from the south. I'll tell you more about that in a moment, but I just have to show you the bottom end of that same storm, the same line of moisture being directed from subtropical areas is slamming Northern California right now. At San Francisco, this is the biggest storm this part of the west coast of the U.S. has seen in over 6 years. So very good news for the drought situation. We're getting a couple of months rain in a matter of days, but with the hard and dry ground leading to some serious flooding issues, and that storm's also coming with winds. San Francisco, tens of thousands without power tonight, and the streets are flooded. Okay, so the big issue with the winds was where that center of low pressure system was going to make landfall. And right now, I'll put the center of low where it is, and you can see those isobars, those lines of equal pressure where it gets closed off. That's the center of the low. So right now we're getting the first bands moving in ahead, the first bands of rain ahead of the center of the storm. But watch as I take you through to this evening. Around 9 p.m., that's when the center of the storm begins to make landfall. And earlier models had the storm actually making landfall closer towards the lower mainland, which would have been a big concern for a windstorm. But because it's tracking a little bit farther to the west, we're still going to get those southerly winds, but they won't be quite as strong. However, after between the hours of sort of 9 and midnight, we could be looking at some 90 kilometer per hour gusts for southern sections of Metro Vancouver. Final blast before I look at this. Things clear right back out for the weekend. A quick look at the rainfall totals. Much lesser amounts towards the south, where again you'll get the winds tonight, and our bullseye where the rainfall warnings are. 55 millimeters, 50 to 80 millimeters, possibly overdoing it, but those could be your new 24-hour totals. And when all is said and done, we could be talking 300 to 400 millimeters for the hardest hit areas. All more details tonight.